Oh, hi, Mark. Okay, so I'm going to try to make this review as brief as humanly possible because I work tomorrow and I need to function and it's 2 a.m. So, Bedevilled is a South Korean horror film directed by Cheol-soo. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Sorry if I didn't. I don't speak South Korean. Okay? I wouldn't be able to pronounce any of the main cast either. Let's see. Young Hee Sao, Min Ho Kwang. I don't know. I can't pronounce Asian names. But what I can do is tell when a movie is damn good. And this movie is damn good. There isn't really much I don't like about this film. Reading the synopsis of this movie, you think it's going to be a typical rape revenge movie, something like I Spit on Your Grave, and it kind of is that, but it's not really that. What this movie is it's kind of the story of a woman who's been abused for a long time, and what we're seeing is just the days leading to her breaking point. And it's brutal. I mean, all of it. The abuse is brutal. The revenge is brutal. And the killings are all very brutal. It's all handled in a way that feels way too fucking real. These characters, these abusers, are dog shit. Just in every part of this film, they are absolute dog shit people. There aren't very many good people in this movie. I would say the only people who actually deserved to live through this movie is the mother, who ends up going batshit and killing everybody, and her daughter. And, of course, this is a spoiler review. Don't watch it if you haven't seen the film. And those are two of the people that don't make it in this film. Most of the people that deserve what they got what they got. But there is one character that I'll talk about later that I honestly think she should have died, 100%. But I'll get to that in a second. Right now, I'd like to talk about what I really love about the film. And what I really love about the film, first of all, is this is a fairly unique way to handle this type of story, like a revenge story. You don't get very many of these where it's just building and building and building and building and building the whole movie. You mostly get films like I Spit on Your Grave or Last House on the Left, where this event happens and then the revenge happens. This has been happening for a very long time, and that makes the revenge all the more satisfying. This movie has a lot of great performances in it. The main actress is awesome when she needs to. When she goes through a range of things in this movie, like she is very emotive in a lot of it. She plays the battered spouse very well in the first half of the film, and the psychotic badass very well in the second. Well, it's not the second half, but like the last part of the movie. She is a psychotic badass, and she plays that role very well. I mean, she is just, you can tell this woman has no fucks left to give, and it's awesome. Of course, this movie looks very good. The camera never does anything stupid, like all this shaky cam shit. I mean, this is This is a product of South Korea, so you know you're gonna get something raw, and it's very that way. It's very gritty. You see a lot of the violence, a lot of the mean, nasty shit that's taking place in this movie. It doesn't hold back from showing you that, but it doesn't show you things that are unnecessary to show you. A lot of it is done through suggestion, which leads to this movie feeling really... It's a very disturbing movie, but it's not a very exploitative movie. Which is interesting, and it's interesting that this movie was able to kind of find that balance. In the end, it does become kind of exploitatively violent, but I think it needed to after all of that dog shittery that we were watching throughout the entire first part of the movie. All of the bad guys are, yeah, their performances are good, but you know, fuck those guys. Fuck those characters. Such just dog shit humans. I mean, the whole lot of them too. It's not even just the victimizers that are these terrible people. There are like a group of old women that live on this island as well that are just terrible people. They are very set in their old school way of thinking. Let's just say they're old school in the... Yes, a woman is happiest with her husband's member in her mouth. But yeah, they're old school in a, hey, what are you doing, you lazy bitch? Get back to work, when she's been working all day, sort of way. Like, I don't know if they're old school or if they just really enjoy treating this woman like garbage. Like absolute garbage, because they seem to treat each other just fine. It's just this one woman that they gang up on her. All of these people gang up on her. At one point, it even seems like her friend is joining in and ganging up on her. Not while the others are doing it, but it does seem like that at a couple of points. Of course, all of the music in the movie, it fits very well within the movie. It fit well with the scenes. I loved the way everything worked in this movie. I mean, it really did. At one point, they actually do something that a lot of movies will not do, especially a lot of American movies, which of course is what I'm used to. I'm an American. I'm sorry, I am a filthy casual. I watch a lot of American movies. And they kill a kid. This film kills a kid, and the person who does it isn't even, like, he is so unfazed by it. Like, for a second, everyone just kind of stops, and it's like an oh shit moment. Like, even in the movie, they're reacting to it as if, like, oh shit, that just happened. But then 4 seconds later, he was like, it'll be fine, bitch. Just put bean paste on it. Like, that's... Death can't be cured by bean paste. This motherfucker's always trying to push his bean paste. I'd say the one thing I disliked about this movie. We've got a bunch of my likes. I love how brutal it is. I love how it doesn't give a shit. I love that it looks good. I love all the performances. I love the music choices. I love all of it. One thing I don't like about this movie is when she goes crazy, her friend should have died. 100%. I was rooting for her to kill her friend. I was. And do you know why? Because she wasn't her friend. So her friend is... I don't know her name. I didn't remember any of the characters' names in this movie. This is a woman that we were introduced to in the beginning of the film. And we are introduced to her as a sack of shit. Basically. A more passive sack of shit, but she's a sack of shit anyway. then we just start to see her do more and more shitty things. Things like she denies or she refuses to comment on a couple of people that she saw assault a woman. She would not say anything about it. At all. She would not positively identify the people that she saw assault this random woman in the streets. And like, that's crazy to me. Like, how much effort does it take to positively identify something you saw? I just can't. And then she's like throwing her friend's letters away. Like, this friend that she's had since she was a kid, or at least a friend that she had when she was a kid. By the way, at one point it flashes back to when they were kids. This group of slightly older boys, it appears, approach them and they do things, and she just runs away. She runs away, and then she goes back and she watches them do these horrible things to her friend. And then she goes there, and I swear to Jesus, if there were any more warning signs that this was an incredibly abusive relationship, they would literally have to be hitting you over the head. And her friend's like, hey, will you take me to Seoul with you? Like, will you take me and, what was her name? Soo-hyun? I don't know, her kid. Will you take me and my kid to Seoul with you? Like, we need to get out of here. And she's like, or no, she's like, you can go to Seoul. Like, I can't stop you. Just go wherever you want. And she's like, well, I don't suppose you'd take us in. She's like, you're a grown woman. You should be supporting yourself. Like, bruh. You're a grown woman. You should be supporting yourself. Do you hear yourself? Do you know what's going on? Alright, at this point, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. Say that she doesn't, even though literally everyone has done nothing but treat her friend like garbage to this point. This lady that's been trapped on this island with all these fucking misogynistic psychopaths. Even though they've done nothing but treat her like garbage, I'll give this random city chick the benefit of the doubt, and that maybe she, I don't know, doesn't somehow think this is an abusive thing that's going on here, even though she seems horrified of her husband. Okay, whatever. But then she goes to you later and asks you again. She's like, well, why do you want to go to Seoul so bad? Like, why do you want to go with... She's like, I think my husband has done things to my daughter. And she's like, that's a fucking disgusting lie. Try better next time. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you right now. If one of my friends, even if it was someone who, like, used to be my friend, we're not so much friends anymore, but, like, like, we kind of had a falling, even if that was the case, forget a friend. If some person that I knew at some point in time was like, hey, I have a horrible human for a spouse, will you, like, just take me with you when you leave? Yeah, I will do that, because I'm not a sack of shit human. It's not a difficult decision. That is not a difficult decision. And yet she makes it out to be. And then later, when chick that's been trapped on that island's husband kills her child, her friend witnesses it and then lies about it later to some kind of doctor that's there on the island. Are you bullshitting me? How she didn't just murder this woman right there in the middle of the woods when she was going after that old lady? honestly is impressive restraint. Because she knocked her out, and then she went for the old lady. Absolutely not. That should not have been a thing. This character should not have survived the movie. She is an absolute dog shit human being. Should not have been allowed to survive this movie. Absolutely not. Was that everything I wanted to talk about with her? Because, like, she hunts her down in the end of the movie and she tries to kill her. And instead, this woman, this main character, who was being abused for all this time, she's the one that ends up being killed. After all the shit this character has done. And then the end of the film wants you to believe that she's a better person now, and that she grew, which, you know what, congratulations for you. You grew, after being one of the most shit humans in this movie. Alright, probably not one of the most, but one of the shit humans in this movie. Congratulations, you finally grew. And the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes that day. Which isn't saying much, because I'm pretty sure there was literally a black hole in place of her heart before. That is the one thing I disliked about this movie. I can't stand that they let her live. I really can't. In the context of a horror film, she definitely should have died. Come on now. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about the film Bedevilled. If you haven't seen it, why did you watch a spoiler review? What the shit? But if you haven't seen it, definitely see it. It's available on Tubi TV right now, which Tubi has a lot of really cool, like, horror movie stuff on there. Pretty sure Train to Busan is also on Tubi. Martyrs is on Tubi, which is a really neat kind of movie. Yeah, I appreciate this movie's balls. It goes some really dark places, and it does some really dark things, and it doesn't give a damn what you think about those things that it does and those dark places it goes to. At the end of the day, guys, I think I am going to give Bedevilled a 9 out of 10. It's a really solid movie. Please watch it. Brutal as shit. I think as far as South Korean horror, though, I think my favorite is still I Saw the Devil. Bedevilled is pretty good, though, but I wouldn't say it's quite on I Saw the Devil level. Yeah, that rhymed. Anywho, I'll catch you guys on the next one.